All right, y'all, we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business today. Gonna see if its Google search, local and city Google search, has BSS, yes or no. So we're here in the GBC universe, taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More about that, pinned post, whatever, home post. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So if we're rising, we're probably getting a mix of all different intent people, high intent people, mid intent people, low intent people. If we're falling, we're missing some group somewhere. Now, here we're focusing on BSS way on the left. We're focused on the highest intent people, people searching for boudoir photo shoot, social search, searching on social media, like literally typing in, searching, and Google search as well. And way over on the right, we got our other brand talking about BLCS. That other brand is Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where Facebook ads to the lowest intent people, but there's the largest amount of them. Right now with that, we're only working with boudoir photographers spending more than 10 grand a month on boudoir Facebook ads. But we're here for BSS. So boudoir search sameness is when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. 0 slots on page 1 means we're on page 2 or deeper. We're basically dead already, kind of out of the gate at that point, because we already know approximately 80% of Google searches never go to page 2. So we want to get the bulk of the market here, the 80%, approximately 80%. That's the bulk. We want to be in front of them by being on page 1 on Google. But even 1 slot is not enough, because 1 slot, if every other boudoir photographer has 1 slot, that means there's us and 9 other boudoir photographers on there. We aren't looking anything amazing because we only show up once, same as everyone else. So buyers are just going to click down the list, open everyone in a new tab, contact everyone, get price quotes, just because it's easier to click that than to click the next page button. And we already know approximately 80% of people never go to page 2. Now we also have a kind of our own GBC minimum where we want to hit 3 out of 10 on page 1. More on that later. Now 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google is not normal. Extremely common, but it's not normal to have that few number of page 1 Google slots. That means there's deeper root causes at play. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. Those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation, which basically everyone knows about, and the false belief of page 1 equality, which basically nobody knows about. So market saturation, that's when someone gets a new iPhone, they're throwing out their Google My Business profile, throwing out their website saying they now do boudoir photo shoots, or they get a new camera and they're posting them on Facebook groups saying they now shoot boudoir. And also during COVID, people losing their jobs, can't work, became boudoir photographers as well. It's kind of a anomaly. Causing market saturation, which caused a big glut of boudoir photographers to enter the market because people gotta earn money. Now, kind of the most dangerous one though is the false belief of page 1 equality. So the false belief of page 1 equality is what I have seen as the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses, far and above anything else. And it's basically page 1 equality, which never had a name before, but people just kind of auto accepted it, where it's like, oh yeah, I got 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google, and there's some market saturation. All right, it pushed me by 1 slot. Now, I'm on page 2, and hopefully they turn their website off so I can maybe go back onto page 1, but page 2, okay. Just these things happen, and blah blah blah. It's like it's normal to be kicked off page 1, go to page 2, and it's normal to not have as many first page links on Google as we want that we can take whenever we want. And because people believe this page 1 equality, or more likely they accept it without even knowing it exists, they do not try to solve it because they don't know this false barrier, this false box that they believe is real, or they don't even see that they're in a box. Is actually not real at all, and they can solve it. and they don't have to believe in it because it's not real anyways. And I know it's not real because I myself went from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 of Google in 10 days. So we'll see more about that in a little bit. But this false belief of page 1 equality is kind of, I lose my page 1 slots on Google. It is what it is. The number one killer I've seen of boudoir photography businesses. We also know that a boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer. So we got our universe building here on the right. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. Number one killer I've seen of boudoir photography businesses. But we now know that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. It's a proprietary methodology that we developed, and I'll be showing you the results we got for ourselves using it. And this is the only solution I have ever seen that can successfully outcompete and render market saturation as a non-issue. And I feel it's better than ads, Google or Facebook ads, because there's no momentum associated with them. With those, you stop spending, they stop showing. With this S-cubed methodology has its own momentum where it continues on. So it has momentum. Not infinite momentum, but it has its own momentum. And it's the only thing I've seen that allows us to take as many page 1 slots on Google as we want, rendering market saturation effectively kind of a non-issue. And kind of thinking of it this way, if we're in Boise, Idaho, and there's over, we're a boudoir photographer, and there's 999,999 other boudoir photographers. So a million boudoir photographers in the market. Everyone's got their own website to try to, and trying to rank page 1 on Google. But if we crank S-cubed methodology like up to the max, and let's say on all social search, we're ranked, the first 300 slots for the highest intent keyword for people looking for a boudoir photo shoot in our city. And that flows to Google, so we're ranked the first 300 slots on Google as well. They'll flow back to us in our social profiles or our website. Then we actually, if anyone's searching for a boudoir photo shoot in our city, they're basically unable to even find any competitors because they ain't scrolling to slot 301. I mean, there's 10 organic slots per Google page. If we're occupying 300, they got to go to page 31 to basically see any of our competitors with Google organic search. So if they can't find any of our competitors, how are they going to buy from them? So even if there are a million, but 999,999 competitors in our boudoir, our city competing against us, if we dominate where the highest intent people are searching, our business will go along fine. Now, once true with S-cubed methodology, we have page 1 visibility. We also get a secondary bonus of kicking competing boudoir photographers off page 1, effectively making them invisible. So again, we know that once we go to page 2, or our competing boudoir photographer goes to page 2, approximately 80% or approximately 20% will go there. 80% will never even see them because approximately 80% of Google searches stay on page 1. So it's kind of a extra bonus of ranking more slots page 1 on Google. Now, page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. So we're no longer 0-1 slots. G slots is, that's okay. Here we recommend GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 slots. Page 1 on Google, because 1 slot now, 0 slots now, 1 slot now, we look the same as everyone else. 2 slots, we still kind of look the same as everyone else, but also there's a chance someone else has 2 slots. But if we got 3 slots or more, we're definitely out competing the people with 1 slot because they only see their name once. People with 2 slots, that's kind of rare. So, but we'll also be out competing them. But with 3 slots, you're gonna be like, man, kind of subconsciously, why does Google recommend these people so much? They must be good. Subconscious, it's all there. We also know that boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer. So, got our full micro universe here. A decrease or a disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation, the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. That's fine. We now have the solution S cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. Also, for those that want to dominate, we'll keep going. 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 slots. We'll just keep building that momentum. So now my results doing this, I wanted to rank, basically I want to dominate the keyword BLCS boudoir. So I employed S cubed methodology and go down to organic. So Instagram, organic slot 1, me. Or slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So I got 9 out of 10 slots, page 1, organic, Google. Went from 0 out of 10 to 9 out of 10 in 10 days. And so anyone searching for this keyword, who are they coming to? Who are they going to click on? Obviously me, the dude with 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google. So this is a super great result using S cubed methodology. And after the main event here, I'm going to see if this boudoir photography business has, we're going to see if it has BSS for its one lone Google search here. Looks like we combined local and city. Search for this one. All right. So here we go. Goshen, Indiana. All right, they got 1 slot, 2 slots. All right, 2 out of 10 slots. All right. So BSS is not present, but they did not hit the recommended minimum of the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 Google Page 1 slots. But hey, at least I don't have BSS. That's kind of the first thing we got to solve. You're a discount Boudoir photographer, and you've done the local search for yourself with the high intent with buyer keywords, and you have also done the same for the city search, and you've had BSS for one or both those searches, or you've not hit the GBC recommended minimum 3 out of 10 Page 1 Google searches for one or both of those searches. And you've accepted and you know and you see now that the false belief of page one equality is exactly that false. Google actually wants to give as many page one links to us as possible as we want to take. And so you're saying, well, that's exactly what I'm looking for. SQ methodology is my only way forward. You're liking the initial benefit. One of the initial benefits, which is more slots page one on Google for the highest intent buyer keywords. Liking the second initial benefit, which is which is kicking more competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace. So making them disappear and eventually making them go out of business. And you're also liking, you're understanding the market saturation. People get new gear, over time, more boudoir photographers enter. This market slowly gets more and more saturated. But now you're looking ahead and you're saying, wow, AI is going to be taking a ton of people's jobs. So you're seeing that and you're like, okay, actually there's going to be a larger and larger flood of people coming in to be boudoir photographers as AI takes more people's jobs. So you're thinking ahead and you're like, all right, I got to fortify my position on page one. Can't simply dominate. I got to fortify it. I got to have like so many backup links that Google wants to rank on page one, but we only got 10 slots, so like Google literally cannot rank all my links there. And I need to do that so that current boudoir photographers can no longer rank on page one, and also guarantee future boudoir photographers that come in from AI taking their jobs will also no longer be able to rank on page one. And you're saying S cubed methodology is the only solution to deliver that as well. And you're liking the future benefits, kind of longer term, which are, kind of the longer, every single day we successfully execute S cubed methodology. What we're actually doing is we are increasing the probability that, we're kind of building up these invisible thematic keyword columns attached to our brand, our business name, our website, our social handles, out in like the invisible AI mindshare space. So we're kind of putting these columns like in our like the Parthenon in Athens, Greece, or like spokes, on our bike tire going to the central hub, which is our brand. We're putting all these spokes or columns attached to us. And what this does is this increases the probability that we show up here, AI overview, right at the top, the most premium placement. We cannot buy this AI overview with Google PPC ads. So every day we successfully execute this, we increase the probability we're shown here in premium placement, no ad cost, and guarantees our competitors does not get it. And also, since we're building up this AI mindshare, we increase the probability AI search services recommend us as well. So we're talking ChatGPT search, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. Every day we successfully execute methodology. We're actually building these invisible thematic keywords on our around our brand. And as a result, we're increasing the probability every single day AI search recommends us when someone's looking for a boudoir photographer in their city through AI search app. And, Google right now is still approximately 9% of global search, but dude, AI search is growing every single day. Last time I did AI search for boudoir photographers in a city, it was gave me 3. And I actually went to like Google for those searches, and dude, I found like 60. Like, dude, if AI's only recommended 3, we need to get onto those 3 by any means possible. And I believe studying this, understanding it, that it's this back end AI mindshare. Gotta build momentum into it. Frequency, repetition, relevance, authority, age. These all factor in, kind of all weighted on the AI search backend. And the final thing you're thinking about, can build a brand, estimated 8x faster. And also, you understand my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city. So you've decided to be a first mover because you want to box out your competitors, ensure that they don't get access to this, and then you can actually essentially guarantee a massive gap between you and your current boudoir photographers and any future boudoir photographers that will be coming from AI taking people's jobs. And as a result, build a massive back-end AI mindshare momentum for showing up the highest probability with AI search. And you also understand the converse, which is if a competing boudoir photographer, jumps on this before you, then we'd be building that momentum, getting all those benefits. For them, you'd have a higher chance getting kicked off page 1 of Google, going on to page 2 to deeper pages, losing. You're becoming a disappearing boudoir photographer, or more disappearing if you currently are already there, and actually slowing, basically on the path to the boudoir photography business disappearing. Plus, you'll be building up this massive back-end AI mind share for search momentum with your competitor. And so what you'd have to do is you'd have to go rederive, or actually derive for the first time, S-cubed methodology. And you would never actually truly know if you derived it correctly. Then you'd have to go and execute on S-cubed methodology every single day. And when you do all that, you're simply maintaining the gap, meaning your competitor continuously building every single day. So you'd actually have to double or triple our S-cubed methodology output every single day to close that gap, pull the AI mindshare momentum away from you and your competitor and towards you for the back-end AI mindshare for higher probability of recommendations in AI search. And you would never feel 100% confident even executing an S-cubed methodology because you would not know if you derived it correctly. So you probably actually wouldn't put in the time to execute double or triple. And double or triple may take, dude, it might take like 80 hours a day. Like, who literally has time to do for 80 hours a day? Ain't nobody got that time. So after understanding all that, you've decided, screw that. I've decided to be a first mover. I'm going to be the first one to use S-cubed methodology in my city. And so if that's you, shoot me a DM. The hospital is closed for new patient intake at the moment. So even if you wanted to work with me, you cannot. But when I open up the hospital for new patient intake, then shoot us a DM and we will see if you qualify for using our S-cubed methodology.